This is actually going to be such a cool video to make. We're going to be going through an absolute ton of leaked information here for wonder weapons, perks, DLC maps, zombie bosses, different zombie features that were cut from past Treyarch zombie games. We're going to be going through leaks from World at War all the way to Black Ops Cold War Zombies. And I have to say, the Black Ops 2 cut content leaks especially are super cool. A ton of game modes from Black Ops 2 that were cut. Transit was supposed to be completely different, and what transit was supposed to be in Black Ops 2 may very well be what transit is like if it's remade in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Before we start, very quickly, I want to give a big thank you to all of the viewers, all of you guys that got me here to 60,000 subscribers, a pretty huge goal. Honestly, I can't believe I'm at this point. You guys are supporting me so much. You're honestly changing my life, and I seriously appreciate it so much. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Black Ops Cold War content. I guess next goal is 70k, so we'll see what happens next, but seriously, I appreciate you guys watching and being with me along this journey. Shout out to the members as always, and let's get started here. So first of all, big shout out to this Reddit user, Arkham is Coming 2020, compiling all of the zombies cut content from past Treyarch games. Again, a lot of this content here is super cool, and once we get into especially the Black Ops 2 leaks, a lot of these Black Ops 2 leaks we could easily see implemented into Black Ops Cold War. So let's just get started here. Treyarch Zombies and its history of cut content. So I was daydreaming about how Cold War Zombies had a lot of cut content, as we talked about in my recent video, and I figured I would do a post about the history of cut content for Black Ops Zombies. Starting off with Call of Duty World at War Zombies, a perk called Ammo-Matic was cut from the DLC 3 map pack, and this perk would have gave you more ammo, kind of like ammo crates in Cold War, but a perk machine instead. So this pretty much was a max ammo perk machine. I'm pretty sure it was added into a bunch of Black Ops 3 custom zombie maps, but again, in Cold War Zombies, we pretty much have this feature, so we wouldn't really need Ammo-Matic in Cold War Zombies, but it may have been helpful in the past games, especially Black Ops 2. Black Ops 3, pretty easy to get ammo with cashback with the Gobble Gums, but Ammo-Matic, pretty cool to see that that perk would have been in World at War Zombies. That's a pretty iconic leak. I think a lot of people know about Ammo-Matic. Another thing here, Kino der Toten, Moon, and Call of the Dead were supposed to come in a DLC 4 for World at War, but were cut and moved to Black Ops 1. DLC 4 was cut entirely due to Treyarch needing to work more on the Black Ops 1 campaign because the DLC would have released too close to the launch of Modern Warfare 2. And it would have been cool to see if all of these Black Ops 1 maps released in DLC 4 for World at War, what would have the maps been for the DLCs for Black Ops 1 Zombies? Kino, Moon, Call of the Dead would have already been released, so that gives us a new open slot for all of these Black Ops 1 DLCs and the launch maps to have different locations, different maps. That would have been really cool to see what they would have done there. And the last one here for World at War, Hellhounds were originally supposed to appear in Verrückt. Black Ops 1, we're getting some more cut content here, and as we get further and further into these future Black Ops games, there are more and more cut content leaks here. And again, the Black Ops 2 ones are my favorite, but Black Ops 1 here first. There was a chainsaw cut from the game. The flamethrower was also cut from 5 and Kino. The AK-47 was cut from Zombies. The M60, the Enfield, were also cut from Zombies, but have Pack-a-Punch variants in the files of the game, and the Uzi was cut from Zombies as well. So just a bunch of different weapons that were cut from the Black Ops 1 Zombies game mode. 5 originally had the WAW-BOCW DG2. Probably would have been a good move to have that wonder weapon on 5 instead of what they added. Hellhounds were cut from 5. There was originally going to be a Paris map, but it was turned into Moon. I think that's one of the most iconic leaks out of Black Ops 1 Zombies. Most people around that time remember NGT Zombies making videos about the Paris zombie map leaks. I definitely remember that back in the day. Perks cut from Black Ops 1 Zombies include Candelier, DTP Boom, Pronade, Turf Brew, Candelier was similar to Ammo-Matic in that it gave ammo to the player. Pronade and Turf Brew were like PhD Flopper, and these two perks were made for Ascension, and they were later combined into PhD Flopper. So those two uses for the perks were probably just, no damage from explosives, and then the whole dolphin diving explosion effect that you got with Black Ops 1 PhD. Next thing here, Ascension was originally supposed to be the launch map for Black Ops 1 Zombies, which is really sick there. Originally, Ascension was way bigger than the size of the actual map and was a lot more ambitious. Due to it taking a while to make, Treyarch pushed it back for DLC and scaled it back a bit. The fourth lunar lander can be seen in the outside areas of the map. An early version of Ascension also had double tap. Now that is really insane to hear. If Kino was in DLC 4 of World at War, Ascension was this main zombies map for Black Ops 1, and I just find it so fascinating that Ascension was supposed to be so much more larger, and they had so many more ideas for Ascension, and they scaled it all the way back because they just didn't have time, and they had to make it a DLC map for the game. I would love to see them go back to Ascension, expand it, remake it, really go for what they were going for back in Black Ops 1. They have the assets now. It's very popular. Zombies is extremely popular right now. People would love to see a huge version of Ascension, especially with their original idea. So I would love to see that at some point in the game. An engineer boss was going to be in Kino, but was used for Dead Ops instead. And then the last Black Ops 1 Zombies leak here, Shangri-La had a second cut wonder weapon in the game. In the files, there's a string for a blowpipe wonder weapon, which would have been really cool to see how that actually worked in the game, and definitely fit the whole mythical setting of Shangri-La in the Himalayas. Now, the Black Ops 2 Zombies leaked cut content. Some of my favorite cut leaks ever in Zombies. A lot of this stuff is so insanely cool. And again, as we go through this, let me know down below, would you want to see some of this stuff implemented into Black Ops Cold War Zombies? First thing here, the Spaz 12, Dragunov, Sabretooth were cut from the Zombies game mode. Zombie Head was a cut power-up. Cut game modes include Meat, Race, No Man's Land, Containment, Deadpool, Pitted, Richtofen, and Maxis. Treyarch had a lot of more game modes planned for Transit, but they were cut due to Treyarch not having enough time to make them. So this leak here is really cool, and I do hope that for Black Ops Cold War Zombies, especially, we know Season 1 of Black Ops Cold War will be adding new Zombies game modes to this game. It would be really cool to see a bunch of these past zombie game modes brought into Black Ops Cold War, especially the crazy ideas that they had for Transit that they never got to do, because honestly, they could add so many fun new ideas, not just grief, because obviously I would like to see grief in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, but actual crazy different game modes like Meat, No Man's Land, Containment, Deadpool. Richtofen and Maxis sounds insanely cool too. They probably can't bring that into Black Ops Cold War Zombies because it doesn't make sense with the storyline like it did back in Black Ops 2 Zombies. But if they could bring it into the game somehow, that would be so beautiful to see. I would absolutely love to see that. Tombstone and Who's Who were cut from Origins. They still exist in the files. That would have been crazy to see Tombstone and Who's Who in Origins. I really hope we see those perks back again just for the meme. It would be really fun to see. And Tombstone, we talked about, potentially actually will be brought into Cold War Zombies, which is really cool to see as well. So hopefully we actually do get that very soon. Transit originally had more areas like a lava lake and a power factory. Transit also had a separate version that was made set before Moon and before the Earth was blown up. Power Station was going to be another sub area for Green Run, but was cut. Now, there are still more leaks here about Transit in Black Ops 2 Zombies, but this one here is so cool. A separate version of Transit set before Moon, before the Earth was blown up. I mean, that would have been so insane to see. And again, as we go through more of these Transit leaks here, I really hope we get Transit remade in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and they add all of these insane features different versions of Transit, different locations in Transit, all the different game modes that were supposed to be made for Transit. There is so much potential content that could have been brought, that they wanted to bring into Transit, but they were limited with the consoles back then, and they were limited with time. So some more stuff here. The jet gun was originally upgradable, but was cut. It would have lasted longer, done more damage, and could have been used more. That is such an unfortunate thing because the jet gun is frowned upon, and it could have really been such an insanely good weapon if you were able to upgrade it in some sort of way. So honestly, the jet gun returning in a Transit remake and being able to upgrade it would be really, really cool to see, and it would be a good redeeming factor of the jet gun. Bring it back and make it one of the most powerful wonder weapons of all time. Traveling the bus in Transit was originally much more dangerous. Upon entering special ambush zones, there was a 25% chance of an ambush round starting. During this ambush round, the bus would break down and hellhounds would start spawning in. Upon killing all of the hellhounds, the player would receive a max ammo and the bus would start moving again. So another really just cool feature, a small chance of the bus breaking down in the middle of two locations in the cornfield, hellhounds running at you. I mean, again, just little cool things like this that I wish they had in the game. Transit was just way too ahead of its time. Next thing here, Richtofen originally had more lines that interacted with the players and commented on their actions. They were later cut in development. Treyarch originally had a day-night cycle. That's so cool to hear. A second bus route, and you could have also skipped destinations with the bus. You could also make the bus go faster, and it had a HUD display showing the timer. The bus also had power-ups. So again, this is just so fascinating to hear. This sounds like this crazy dream. I mean, Treyarch was so ambitious. This was probably the most ambitious zombies map Treyarch ever attempted to make, and they fell so short, and it's not even their fault. If they really added all of these features in the game, it would have been the most iconic, the best zombies map of all time. And please, Treyarch, if you're somehow watching this video 11-12 minutes into this video, these features added into a Transit remake in Cold War Zombies would be wild. It would be the coolest thing we have ever seen in Treyarch Zombies. So hopefully we get some of this here. The day-night cycle sounds sick. Bus Route B, we obviously all know about. Being able to skip locations in the bus, making the bus go faster. All really sick features that would actually make Transit, the quality of life playing Transit, a lot more better and enjoyable. Hellhounds were supposed to be in Transit. They would have been in the ambush rounds. Diner was originally going to be a survival map. Die Rise was originally going to take place in Russia. So that would have been really cool to see if Die Rise was going to be the same map, but just in a Russian city. So really sick there. Mob of the Dead had a cut Richtofen head wonder weapon. That's wild to think about, man. Imagine a Richtofen head wonder weapon. That's just so sick. And then Treyarch had a DLC 5 planned for Black Ops 2 Zombies that would have released during COD Ghost life cycle. This DLC 5 would have included remakes of Nocturne Toten, Verrucht, Shinonuma, and Der Riese. These maps would have also had new additions. Treyarch went to Activision to see if they could release it, but Activision didn't let them because they didn't want it to affect COD Ghost life cycle. Another unfortunate situation here for Black Ops 2 Zombies. This would have been so insanely cool, and let's be honest, everyone was playing Black Ops 2 Zombies for 2+ years after it came out. During COD Ghost, during Advanced Warfare, majority of the community were still playing Black Ops 2. Everyone was still on Black Ops 2, and if they released a DLC 5 after Black Ops 2 during the COD Ghost lifecycle, that would have blew up. That would have been the biggest map pack of all time. I mean, that would have been so cool to see. So unfortunate that we didn't get that there. So again, I think you guys know why these Black Ops 2 leaks were one of my favorite leaks I've ever seen, cut content-wise from past Treyarch games. So much cool stuff there. But we have some Black Ops 3 leaks as well to go through. So Black Ops 3 Zombies cut content. A few gobblegums were cut, including Fire and Forget, Power Trip, and 2 others that became board games and projectile vomiting. Shadows of Evil originally had a second Apothicon Servant and a Cocoon quest related to it, along with the ability to pack-a-punch the Apothicon Servant, and there were a bunch of leaks back in the day. We were doing the second Apothicon Servant Easter egg hunt, and obviously that was all just cut content, never actually brought into the game. Revelations had a blue power-up that would have gave you a bad gun and cut Shadow Man and Dr. Monty quotes, and Derisendrach had Galvan Knuckles in the files as well. Now some Black Ops 4 Zombies cut content. These are pretty iconic because it's not only cut content that we're hearing about from data mines, it's cut content that Treyarch announced we were gonna get and then they just never brought it to us. So Black Ops 4 Zombies Factions. Black Ops 4 originally had a big new feature called Factions that let you pick sides for zombies. You would go on separate teams, separate factions. They literally revealed it at the Black Ops 4 Zombies reveal event, and they just never brought it to the game, and they never mentioned it ever since. Very weird there. They should have at least said we can't add this feature in, but they completely cut that from the game. 2 more Chaos maps were cancelled. The third one can be found in the files. Zombies Chronicles 2. Insiders and files leaked that Black Ops 4 was going to have a DLC 5 that included the remakes of the Victus maps, Buried, Die Rise, Transit, obviously. These maps have been finished for a while. The Game Revolution revealed that these maps were going to have additions and changes to them. Transit's remake would have new cutscenes and boss fights. Bus Route B will apparently be in the Transit remake. The Transit remake will play out like a regular map more than the original. It's less linear and has more gaps filled. Apparently, Die Rise will have fast travel and a new transportation system. Transit would have also had fast travel, and in Buried's remake, there was apparently no Leroy, and he was replaced with a hacker from Moon. The maps are also apparently to have had brand new names and wouldn't be the same names, so Transit wouldn't be called Transit, Buried, Die Rise. They wouldn't have those same names, they would be slightly different. Transit's remake will have elements from Call of Duty Mobile Zombies. These remakes were saved for Cold War instead, which I don't know, again, the confirmation, the validity of that statement, but hopefully they're saved for Cold War Zombies. And Black Ops 2 originally had 2 seasons. One would have been the 4 Chaos maps, and the second season would have been the second Black Ops Pass with 4 Ether maps, but the second season was cut and canceled due to Treyarch having to work on Black Ops Cold War. My second favorite leaks here out of all of this definitely was Black Ops 4. There was a lot of really cool post-launch content for Black Ops 4 Zombies that we would have seen in the game, especially with Zombie Chronicles 2, all of the remakes, all of those maps. Again, I really hope all of that stuff is brought into Cold War Zombies. The Transit remakes, especially with all of the old Black Ops 2 Transit features that were supposed to be on Transit that they never got to do. If that's all brought into Cold War Zombies, we will be living in actual zombies utopia. Like, this is going to be the craziest thing ever if we actually get this stuff in the game. But we have to end off here with Black Ops Cold War, the cut content from this game. Originally, upon finishing Die Maschina's Easter egg, it would have put you into a survival map version of Nocturne Toten. The Ray Rifle was a second wonder weapon for Die Maschina, but was cut. Only mentions of it exists in the files. There was going to be a new Panzer, the Mecha Z, as we talked about in the video a couple of days ago, but he was cut and maybe saved for a future Zombies map in this game. Die Maschina originally had a tutorial mode similar to World War II Zombies. It was cut from the game. Die Maschina also had a jetpack. The jetpack would have had 5 parts, but it was cut early in development. Nikolai's glove was supposed to be on Die Maschina, must have been cut as well. Originally, there were 5 tiers for the upgrades in Cold War Zombies, but they were scaled down to 3 due to 5 being way too OP. And my idea, as we talked about in the past couple videos, was that they would eventually add those extra tiers in future DLC seasons of this game. So that's all of the cut content here for Black Ops Zombies, from World at War all the way to Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Really insane to hear all of this here. And again, there are so many cool features, so many ambitious ideas with perks, maps, weapons, zombie map features, especially the Black Ops 2 zombie leaks, the Transit leaks. There's so much cool stuff that we could have seen in the game, but it was way too early, Treyarch didn't have time, they didn't have the resources, they didn't have the consoles, but now is the chance. Cold War Zombies could be one of the most popular zombie game modes that Treyarch has ever released. There is so much potential with this game, and if they go back and bring just the slightest amount of these leaks here into Cold War Zombies, it would be so cool. I mean, zombies would thrive like it has never thrived before, and the zombies community would literally be the biggest portion of the Call of Duty community, maybe overtaking Warzone. Maybe that's a little too much to say because Warzone is really popular and it's free to play. So maybe not Warzone, but zombies could be really popping, really insane, and in such a good state, honestly, if they brought a lot of these leaks into the game. So seriously, if you watched this whole video, please leave a comment below zombies. It would be greatly appreciated. I want to see people that got all of this information here. I mean, this was a jam-packed video. Again, shout out to Archimus Coming 2020 for a compilation of all of this beautiful leaked information here from past Treyarch zombie games. I love this so much. This is actually such a fun video to make. It's just giving me so many ideas and nostalgia bursts of what it would have been like to see all of this stuff in these past zombie games and maps. So hopefully, again, we get this very soon in Cold War Zombies. But that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.